to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show. What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Business Network, back for another video for you guys. Today, I want to talk about how to run your cleaning company on AutoPilot. And so to help me pull this off, I'm just going to show you a video from back in, 2017 that I did, where I think this video will be better for you because it's me in real time talking about when I actually made the transition. So what ended up happening was I was with a cleaning franchise back then. I was with JanPro. I had a cleaning franchise, and so I wanted to get out of it, and I was about to sell it. But before I sold it, JanPro offered me an operations manager position to basically be a franchise owner consultant and come down to Florida and train other franchise owners. And then while I did that, I kept my cleaning franchise that I had running, the cleaning company that I had running up in Virginia. I kept running it from a distance. So I ended up moving to Florida. This is me in this video here. I already had moved to Florida, and I was explaining in this video how I pulled it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video. You guys can listen to it, and then I'll pause and critique it as needed. All right, so here we go.
All right, so what's going on, YouTube? I was asked in my Snapchat, I was asked, how am I able to run my franchise, trying to get this camera right, from Florida, if I still own a franchise in Virginia, like how am I able to do that? So basically, like I told y'all before, if you've seen the video, how to run your business on AutoPilot, I basically give you pretty much what I do in that video. But basically all I do is I have a system in place, right? So I have one guy, who's actually my brother, who I put in charge, and I pay him a set amount every month to pretty much oversee everything, okay? So they don't really have like a set everyday role where they got to go out and do anything. They pretty much just do things that I tell them to do. If anything comes up, like say if we need them to go pick up some more refill chemicals from our supplier, he'll go take the truck and go pick it up. And I also left a work truck with him as well for the company. And then, or maybe if we need emergency account to be cleaned, somebody called out of work or no call, no show, whatever the case may be, then he would have to cover that. Any training that comes up through JanPro, I send them to that. Turn this ad back on. And then just anything overall, any overall seeing things, any disciplinary actions, hiring, firing, like he would have, I like to get the final say on the hiring and the firing, but he will ultimately be the one that does it. You know what I mean? Signs the paperwork and everything. All right. Then under the supervise my field manager that I have in place, then I'll have my inspectors. So my inspectors go out and check my accounts after the people that clean it. And so the inspectors get a set hour rate where they get, well, basically it's more per building that they check. So each building that they check, they get X amount. So for example, let's say I'm paying them $10 an hour. I say each building that you check, I'll give you $10. And so maximum, it shouldn't take you more than 1 hour to inspect that account. We all know 9 times out of 10 it's going to take them 15 to 30 minutes. So really they're making about $20 an hour really. And
so one thing I want to point out here is you got to remember this is back in 2016, 2017. Since then, pay rates have gone up a lot in most areas. I know some people are still in rural areas where you can get away with, $10 an hour and stuff like that. But I know back home where I'm from now, you probably would have had to jump that to $20 per inspection instead of 10, and then tell them, if you can do 2 in an hour, that's basically $40 an hour. So that's how you kick it to them. Like even though you're doing $20 per inspection, you're not paying them by the hour, but just for the the math to make sense, because most people are are employee minded, then you just show it to them from an hourly rate point of view. So I would say, so I'm paying you $20 an inspection. So in reality, if you do 2 in an hour, because one inspection is going to take you about 15-20 minutes, that's going to be a total of probably about $40 an hour. All right. Then also I want to point out too, I said earlier that I had a general manager who was my brother, and I paid him a set amount just to oversee everything. Then I provided him with the company car. I didn't mention it here, but I also provided him with a company cell phone. And the reason why that's important is because my brother, around that time, he had just came home from prison.
so he didn't have much of anything. So me providing those two incentives, him not having to pay for his own cell phone bill, him not having to pay for his own transportation, those were perks to help him, to help incentivize him to want to keep this job, because it came with car and a phone. So even though I wasn't able to pay him as much as I wish I could have paid him at that time, I was able to throw those perks in to, get creative and make the job lucrative for him too. So get creative when you're trying to hire these people when you feel like you don't have a budget, all right?
Reality, okay? But their job is to inspect, and if they see something wrong, they fix it. If they see the same thing wrong over and over, they need to report it in their inspection report, send it to the supervisor, and then the supervisor pretty much will do the disciplinary action for the worker, okay? And that's how that works. And then I have my workers who pretty much, I assign them the accounts. The accounts are pretty much like theirs because they're contractors, and they manage it. They pretty much, they the ones who go out and actually clean it. And I give them as many as I feel like they can handle, and that's pretty much how it works. So everything is able to run without me even being there. That's how I set it up. If you ever try to do it, I recommend that you send your supervisor, field manager, whatever you want to call them, the person that you leave in charge, send them through the JanPro training as if that they were buying a brand new franchise. Have you let your franchise know what you're doing, tell them you want to send your head guy to training. I'm pretty sure they'd be more than happy to let them.
So one thing I just want to point out is, again, I was with a franchise at that time. Obviously, I'm teaching you guys to go independent now. So let's just say you bought through Clean Biz Network and you had the Clean the Business Starter course from us. Then I will put your manager, the person that you're going to put in place, through that same course, all right? Make them pass it, make them pass the exam that's at the end of the course so they can get CBN certified as well.
And go through the training. That way that person can know pretty much all the things that you know, as much as they could possibly know, you know what I mean? And I did a good deal of training with my brother before I left, walked them through the things, showing them everything. Now as far as payroll and QuickBooks and all that, I still handle that. As he starts to learn it, I'll start shifting that over to him as well. And as the business grows, I'll shift that over to him so that way I can pay him more, because right now I don't pay him as much. And that's the key too. You got to be creative with your pay structure. You don't have to always pay by the hour. Pay set rates, pay by the job, you know what I mean? And get creative with it, because sometimes people don't always take jobs just because of money. Sometimes they take it because of flexibility. They take it to supplement their income. They take it because they like the freedom, you know what I mean? It's a lot of different things, ways and reasons that people take positions, okay? So don't just think everything is always about money. If you can't afford to pay people money, then you just haven't got creative enough. So there's really no such thing as I can't afford it unless you're operating in a negative situation, like your margins are just too low. But most of the time there's a way where you can find a way to pay somebody as long as you have a cash flow in the situation, okay? And another thing too, I just want to tell y'all this, a quick key to my growth and my business, and this and all over when it comes to entrepreneurship. The key is to always work on yourself every day. Like, what I realize is I meet more franchise owners over the years and more entrepreneurs over the years is what separates the great ones and the good ones and the okay ones and the bad ones is the personal development, man. You got to keep feeding your brain. You got to keep learning. You got to keep educating yourself. Like right now, I've been doing a lot of studying on taxes and business taxes. I'm looking for ways to help my company even more and saving on taxes every year, and maybe restructure my company or however I need to do it in order to make it best for me. You know what I mean? Because you can't always afford to pay the highest paid attorneys or CPAs, whatever the case may be, but if you can do as much homework as you possibly can, that'll help you that much more. You know what I mean? And especially if you build like your personal development and stuff, and just so that way you can build the patience, you know what I mean, that it takes in order to make it in business. And also you know how to deal with customers, learn customer service, because sometimes you might think it's a good idea to react a certain way, and then you learn over time, like, you know what, customers don't like that, maybe I should have done this. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff you need to learn: marketing, management, leadership. Leadership is something big right now that I'm working on too, because having a management role and actually being a leader are completely different things. And a lot of people think that being a leader is just, oh, I'm gonna get out there and clean too, so that way I can show my people, hey, I clean. I ain't too scared to get that. I mean, that's one way of showing leadership, but that's not really the way. You know what I mean? Because really, you don't want to have to ever touch any rags and spray again if you don't have to. I mean, here and there, you definitely want to get out there and show them how it was done, but you shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? I see a lot of franchise owners who say, well, I didn't take that account because it was too far for me and I can't get out there. Well, it's like, well, you're going to limit the growth of the business because you can't get out there? You're not supposed to get out there in the first place. Your customer, your workers are. You know what I mean? So hire somebody in that area, and then you go out there and you check it weekly. And if you're big enough, then you hire an inspector to go out there and check it weekly, or however the case may be. But don't think so small, and stop hiring people just because they're your family member or just because you know them. You know what I mean? And if you have done that already, don't be afraid to fire or correct these people. You know what I mean? Stand up. You're in business. Get serious about your business and run it like a business person, because I have people who tell me that they have dreams of growing their businesses to certain amounts within certain amounts of time or whatever, but then you look at what they're doing now, and I tell you what, if they continue on the path of their own, they're not going to reach those goals.
Hey, look, so just to piggyback on that point I was making about hiring people that you know and stuff, actually, vet out actual workers and don't just hire people just because, oh, that's my cousin, got to get him a job. Oh, that's my homegirl, got to get her a job, right? Actually vet these people out and never put these people in those personal relationships over the company. The company has to come first, okay? So regardless of if it's your company or not, it ain't about you, it's about what's best for the company. So my rule of thumb when it comes to hiring family and friends, never hire anybody that you're going to be afraid to or you can't bring yourself to fire, okay? And so that was always what I had, like the rubric that I followed, and that's why it worked. And I have fired, some of the closest people in my life to me, but it was for the best of the business. So just want to put that out there as well.
Because they haven't became serious enough about their business, and they haven't taken the steps to try to structure their business in a particular way. Now, I know that when you start off, you probably didn't know how to structure your business. You're just now starting to learn, you know what, I have to create a system that can operate without myself. Okay, but you already living off the money that you make from your cleaning business. So there's a couple things you can do in this situation. Really, either you can take just enough accounts that you keep for yourself that you clean that'll pay your bills, and that's it. And then hopefully they can be daytime accounts. That way you'll be free in the evening to kind of run the evening operations. That's when the bulk of your business will be done. All right, but try to set up a certain amount of accounts just for you to clean. That way those accounts will pay your bills, and the rest of them you start building that system on. And then over time, as you gain new business, you start easing out of the ones that you were cleaning. As the revenue goes up, and you just start easing out and start automating the system more and more. And also in that process, you need to be eliminating as many bills as possible. Try to stay lean as possible on your personal bills, because it's going to be hard.
Let me just do something real quick. Let me see if I can find the paint, because I want to show you what I mean here. Because basically what I'm saying on that part is I'm trying to show you how to get out of the field if you're already out in the field and you live. Let's just say you make $4 grand a month right now, and this is your $4 grand a month worth of buildings. You got 4 buildings that you got over here. You clean all of these, and they pay you $4,000 a month, right? So what I'm saying is, okay, well, bam, you clean that all yourself, leave that there. Don't hire from here on. And then, because what I did was I just took that number, whatever I had, hired for it, cut my pay in half, and then I just said, forget all my bills, let my cars get repoed and paid only their essential bills. You don't have to do it that way, okay? What I say is just get you some more, right? So this one you get, this one you get, and this one you get. Just hire for these, keep these for yourself. Or it's 2 ways you could do it. So either A, hire for these over here, so hire for these ones, and then keep these first ones over here for yourself. But also what you can do is every time you get one new building, so let's just say this is one, every time you get one new building, you clean the new building and put somebody in one of these old ones right here. So let's just say that's a building. Then you get this building, that's number 2, and then you put somebody here in that second building. Then you get number 3, put somebody in that building. And the reason why I say you could do it that way too is because with the older buildings, you probably got a better rapport, and it's probably that they're less fragile compared to the brand new buildings, right? So you could do it that way. But the point is basically keep some for yourself and then hire for the rest, right? And then once these buildings over here that you hired for pay you the same amount in passive income, so you want passive income, let's call that P for passive, passive income as this buildings over here was originally paying you, and you was get paid for that for the earned income. So once this pay you for that $4,000 a month, then you can staff all of the buildings at that point. So that's how you get out of the field if you already out there in the field and you like, wait a minute, well, I done messed up, I'm already self-employed. But here's the key though. The reason why this is hard is because when you cleaning this bulk building by yourself, guess what? You tired after hours. So what you got to do is you're just gonna have to fight through that tiredness. And so that means when you cleaning, you know, in the evening or at nighttime from 5 to, I don't know, 1 in the morning, that means that next morning you could sleep from what, maybe 2 a.m. to about, I don't know, 10 a.m., right? And then from 10 to 5, before you go out and clean, you need to be working on that business, right? You need to be hiring people, doing interviews, building your website, all of the admin stuff, whole interviews. Like most people don't want to take the time to simply hold interviews, post a job listing on Craigslist or Facebook or Indeed, right? But do these things, you're going to have to do it. Get your books in order. Set up Wave Apps. I got the tutorial on how to run waveapps.com. Just type in AJ Simmons Wave Apps tutorial on YouTube and you'll find that, right? But yeah, man, you need to be setting up. So that's how you get out of the field if you're already in the field. And that's what I was explaining at that part right there.
I mean, it's going to be very, very hard. If you got a lot of bills, and obviously it's going to take you a while to get out of the field because you got so many bills that you got to cover. So don't go out and get a brand new car just because your business is grossing 10 grand a month or something. You know what I mean? That's not really a lot because you got to remember that's your business's money. That's not your money, okay? You got to start thinking like a business person and understand that, hey, I've been doing this for 3 years. I should be making more than this. I should get money. But no, that's not how business works. You got to think longer, okay? Once you hit that 5, 6, 7, 8 year mark, then you can start looking at a little bit of the luxuries of life. But when you building a business, I'm telling you, you really got to cultivate it. It's called build for a reason. And people are not understanding that. People always say, well, I got in this to make money. Well, I got in this to get, but you got to understand, okay, first of all, you didn't put a lot of money into it 9 times out of 10. If you bought a cleaning franchise and you put $5,000 or less into it, that's not a lot of money if you're talking about business. All right, let's be for real here.
And let me just pause and make sure for the new subscribers here, I do not recommend that you get a commercial cleaning franchise. I recommend that you start your company on your own. This is an old video. I was with a franchise at first. Now I own Clean Biz Network. We help you start an independent cleaning company where you own 100% of your contracts. I don't want any of your percentages of your money or anything like that. All right, the only reason I'm saying franchises in this video is because it's old. All right, let's focus. All right,
so if you put 5,000 into it, like, how much do you really expect to be making within a year's time? You know what I mean? You got to be realistic. You got to be rational. And we got to start thinking long term and start thinking like business people. Like, everybody wants to be so quick to call themselves a business person, or they try to get this title, I'm an owner, and think that, oh, just because you're saying that you're an owner, that you're supposed to make a certain amount. No, you got to build up to that point. It's nothing to say that you're a business owner. Anybody can go to the state and file for articles of organization, have an LLC, and you're officially a business owner with a $125 fee. You know what I mean? That's all it takes to be a business owner. So being a business owner don't mean shit unless you build an actual business to support that. You know what I mean? What you say that you have. Like, it's not about titles. Get over the titles, okay? Because I remember I used to think that when I first got my first business, I used to say, well, shoot, I own my own business. Really, I'm overqualified for all these jobs, because I remember I was getting back into the job market, and I was like, so really, I'm the same as that guy. The same CEO that ran this Walmart right here, I'm the same as him because I'm a CEO too. And like, that's bullshit, because you didn't manage what he has to manage. You didn't go through what they had to go through. You haven't built what they built. So stop looking at titles. Stop looking at, oh, I'm a business owner, I should be making more. No, you should get rid of that should. See, you got to work on your vocabulary, and that's why I always say personal development is key. You got to build yourself too while you're trying to build that business. Build yourself, because you're going to learn the certain vocabulary that you shouldn't be using. For example, should be, you shouldn't even be saying that. Well, I should be making this. There's no such thing as I should be. Just do it. Like, if you were doing what was necessary to get to what you're talking about, then you would have it. Simple as that. And if you don't have it yet, then it'll come as long as you're putting in that work. So that's the main thing I want to give y'all. But that's all it takes, really, man. Get a system and put it in place, and hire good people that you don't have to supervise and micromanage so much. You know what I mean? And trust them. Put an ad out there on Craigslist, on Facebook, wherever you got to do, and hire some strangers, some people that's going to take you serious, and not nobody that's going to just look at you, oh, that's my boy, he ain't going to find me. That's my homegirl, see, she got my back, she know I got bills to pay, so she can't find me. Don't hire those type of people. You got to think about your business. Your business comes before everything, all relationships, and that's how you got to carry it. And if you carry it like that from the very beginning, you won't have any problem with people because they'll understand that what's going on, you know what I mean? And they respect the position so much more, and they respect you so much more for carrying it like that, okay? Because if you start off friendly, then it's going to be hard to try to cross over with the certain people that you got in place. So what's going to end up having to happen is, in order for you to restructure and grow the way you're supposed to, you're probably going to have to start weeding a lot of those people out that don't want to change or accept the change, okay? So just something to think about. But thank y'all for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and comment. Check me out. Check out my website, ajsimmonsonline.com. on work.
cleanbiznetwork.com. AJ Simmons Online will take you to cleanbiznetwork.com.
Working on some stuff. I got some new products out there, especially for the people who want to start on their own. I'm working on those.
All right, cool. I think we can stop it there, but hopefully you guys get the whole concept of this AutoPilot thing, right? So let me just refresh again. It's simply about systems, man. So it's like, if you haven't started yet, then you can start doing this from the beginning. Get your first building. That's building number one. You take half of the revenue, cut whatever you make from there. So if that's $2 grand a month total that you get from that building, you actually make $1 grand, right? Some of this gonna go to your business, some of this gonna go to you, right? So that's you, that's the business, and then this other half, the other 1,000 that came out of that $2 grand, that goes to your, whoops, I done tore something up here. All right, that goes to your employees, right? And then you do the same thing. You get you another one. Split that in half. Let's say this one is 500. I don't care how small it is. You get that 250 over there. Some go to you. Some go to the business. And then the other 250 to your employees, right? And let's just say, for example, I know it ain't no perfect world, right? Sometimes you might bid it incorrectly once you get it, or maybe you want to pay your people more. Okay, well, bam. Same rule applies, okay? You might split it in 60-40 or something. But 60 gonna go to the employee. That 40 gonna go to you and your business, right? But either way, the point is split it in half, right? The point is to create a system. Stop thinking what you can clean. It ain't about you cleaning. And if you start this from the beginning, the easier it'll be. Because see, once you start taking the whole amount from the building, and you take the whole $5 grand from this account, and you clean it, then guess what? Now you're used to the money. Now you done quit your job because you're cleaning all day to cover that $5 grand a month in cleaning, right? And now you don't have time to set up systems. You don't have time to set up a website. You don't have time to take applications. You don't have time to hold interviews. You don't have time to do anything other than clean that building. So now you self-employed. You at the highest tax rate. You the hardest working person. You have no insurance. You just in the worst place you could possibly be, right? So you do not want to be self-employed. You want to be a business owner, okay? And that's what I'm trying to teach you to do, right? So again, I'm doing this on purpose because I see a lot of ads all of a sudden popping up on Instagram, and I don't know if people have a way of looking up, what companies are making when they get into cleaning business consulting or what. But I do know one thing. I've been doing this for years, and I've been teaching people how to do this. And it's like people want to hop on my wave and push this narrative of make 6 figures without touching a broom. You're going to have to clean. All right, you're going to have to do some cleaning, but if you do the system, then you won't have to clean for long. You get that new building, you clean it for 1 or 2 weeks, get the feel of it, put somebody in there, move on to the next one, clean a little bit, put somebody in there, but you're going to do a little bit of cleaning, and you want to do a little bit of cleaning because you want to know what the hell you're doing, right? Because it's harder to sell if you don't know how to clean and what you're cleaning and what to do and all of that, right? Harder to bid if you don't know how to sell and what you're doing, right? Harder to train people if you don't know how to know what you're doing. Harder to get people to buy in and even respect you as workers if you don't know what you're doing and they ain't never seen you clean, right? So again, this is how you create a system for your company, put it on autopilot, all right? So I'm AJ Simmons. If you're interested in get your cleaning business started the right way, go to cleanbiznetwork.com. We have cleaning business starter kits available for you. Also, you can go to cleanbiznetwork.com if you need leads for your cleaning business, for your cleaning company. We have leads, and so what happens is we'll call around businesses in your area, set appointments up with them. You go out there, you close the deal. If you don't close the deal, that's all right. Buy you some more, or try to cold call, get your own lead schedule, and you do a walkthrough and close the deal. Either way, we're here to help you at cleanbiznetwork.com, and also have a mobile app as well to help you. Check out calculatedclean.net. All right, that's or you can go to Calculated Clean, look on the mobile app store and check Calculated Clean. And so that one's a little bit more affordable than our starter kits, right? Only $29 a month for the cheapest plan with the calculators available, so to help you calculate the pricing, create your proposals, create your walkthroughs and your inspections and all type of other stuff, right? So check that out, Calculated Clean, and also check out cleanbiznetwork.com. I created both of those products and those companies to help you. All right, so I'm AJ Simmons. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to y'all later.